Jim, what do I like to say?
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, John.
We're going to get into that tonight. We got plenty of time. It's the wrap-up show. There's a lot to react to. Padres losing to New York. That alone is not cause for alarm. Circumstances surrounding this game we will get into, and there are a lot of which is really what is happening on social media and what is being said in the clubhouse after the game by both the manager and the players as well. So the Padres lose despite Matt Waldron has just thrown it well. Like, let's acknowledge it. Matt Waldron has pitched really well for this team. Jackson Merrill has been scorching hot. At one point tonight, had homered in 3 of his last 5 at-bats, dating back to that Wednesday game against Oakland. But the Padres are really listless on offense. And another night where they can't hit below-average left-handed starting pitching, and that's Sean Manaea. So there is a lot to react to. John and Jim with you on the wrap-up show. Make your way in on this Friday evening. Maybe you're here live. Maybe you're here on replay. Please subscribe. We have here on Content for Padres fans. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on X. At John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for the super chats. I know one already rolled in earlier. Apologize for getting underway a little late here tonight. We'll get to Jared's super chat in a moment. Thank you, Jared. Thank you all for the super chats. You can click the $ below the chat box. Thank you for becoming members. You can click the join button down below. We have a brand new partner in the wrap-up show we'll tell you about in the next 10 minutes. So stay tuned for that, which is very exciting and a chance for our viewers and listeners to actually win something tonight from our brand new partner as well. But listen, I think the expectations, Jim, heading into this road trip was win a series in New York, right? Maybe not sweep a series in New York, but win a series in New York. They still have a chance to do that after losing here today. We could go in a lot of different angles off the top, but 2-1 loss in the end. Game 1 after an off day, a 2-1 loss to the Mets at Citi Field. The Mets are actually playing decent baseball, and the Padres lose the opener of this trip.
Just another downer game, kind of one of those games where you're thinking, all right, you can prove some things to us and continue to have like the momentum that you built on this homestand, and you're facing another lefty and you're given the opportunity right in front of you. They can't do shit against Sean Manaea, and they don't have an excuse tonight. It's not like you had a game last night in Anaheim, and then you had to fly to New York last night, and then you got into New York at like 4 in the morning, and then had a game that night. Like, there's no excuse.
Even happen anymore. Yeah,
they were here yesterday, and they were in on the town yesterday, out and about doing stuff. You had a full night of rest in New York, so there's no excuse. There's none. There's no excuse for tonight's performance. I mean, we'll talk about Manny, but I do want to just start with, once again, the message from the clubhouse is different than the message from the manager publicly. And it's not the end of the world they lost tonight. I'm not going to sit here and eviscerate Mike Shildt. I'm just going to say it's really annoying to consistently see the players on this club have the message that I think all the fans feel, and then the manager to the media try to portray a completely different message that, once again, we're sitting here saying, what the fuck are you watching, Mike Shildt? That's kind of the annoying part, what has come out of tonight, and hearing from the players and hearing from Schulte on tonight's 2-1 loss.
Right. So, okay, to your point, I think it is a good jumping off point because there's a lot to react to. But the exact quote from Jake Cronenworth to Kevin Acee in the UT, we just didn't play well. Okay. I think he also said it kind of sucks because Matt Waldron pitched well, but it's great. We just didn't play well.
Pitched great again.
And then Mike Shildt, a well-played baseball game. Okay. Remember, Jake Cronenworth had just said we didn't play well. He says a well-played baseball game. Their bullpen came in and did a really nice job. Difference was we were 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. They were 1 for 5. That was the difference. But took good at bats, hit some balls at people. At the end of the day, just wasn't enough. I mean, that doesn't surprise me, Jim, because Shildt is he's like eternally optimistic on the Padres. But the issue there is his team is more real. Like, his team's realistic with it. Players are players. They're giving truthful, to some extent, quotes to the media afterwards, and Mike Shildt's not matching that message, and this is happening a lot. This might be the 5th time we've referenced this in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and again, It's not to say that this team is 22 games under 500 or what an embarrassment. It's not that. It's just like it's time for Mike Schilt to recognize, like, have a good pulse on his team. Just be more honest and forthright and truthful. And I think it maybe goes a long way potentially because now it just looks like all fluff. I mean, why is Jay Cronenworth saying one thing, or who was the pitcher after, I don't even know, the Rocky series or the Angels series saying, I just didn't, it was Michael King. It's like we deserve to be booed. And then Schilt took exception to getting booed. So
Yeah,
it's happened a lot in the last, I'd say 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks.
it has. But why I'm not gonna get too upset about it with it tonight is because I know that's just who he is. He's a try hard. He's never gonna be towards the critical side of a loss. He is always going to go towards the positive. I mean, if you watch that postgame show tonight, John, after they lost, you would think to yourself, shit, I can't believe they won 4-1. It's
right.
Yeah. Like there was even a part of the postgame where it was like, well, remember yesterday when remember Wednesday when Jackson Merrill hit the walk-off home run? You're like, that's in the past. It's in the past. Jackson had a great night. But why isn't there no talk of the team going 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, Manny Machado going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, and the most crucial part of the game, he's up there and he watches strike 3 go right by him with a runner in scoring position.
I mean, and his prior AB that we'll get into.
That too. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you got to be able to move a runner. I mean,
just
clearly.
Give me a honest description of what I'm watching here. You can blow smoke up guys' ass all you want, but I also better hear hey, look, we didn't have an excuse tonight. We were here in New York yesterday. We didn't play well. We had the best homestand of the year, and it's kind of just disappointing that we started the road trip off like this. Hopefully we're better tomorrow. It sucks that we wasted a great start by Waldron, and we need to come out tomorrow and we need to be better. It's so simple, and no one's going to be upset about it. Could not be easier, man. Couldn't be easier.
This is our jumping off point tonight. But first, we're going to tell you about our brand new partner on the wrap-up show. But Jared, thank you. I promise we will start here tonight momentarily. We'll get back to the super chat in a moment. We absolutely have to tell you about our brand new partner here on the wrap-up show. Jim, can I get a drum roll? Probably not. Welcome, Mova Globes. Now, you might be saying, who are Mova Globes? Can you grab your globe from behind you?
Yes, I can.
This is... First of all, there's a link pinned at the top of the live chat, and also you can click the link in the description down below. For our viewers, you can get 10% off this incredible product, which is a rotating globe powered by light. The inventor is a San Diegan. This technology was invented in Cardiff by the Sea, right here in San Diego. They're officially licensed with light and magnets. Don't exactly ask us how it works. They rotate for forever. This is amazingly soothing, we have found out. I've got one right here as well.
Yeah.
It's an amazing product. Look at this, because I got my light on, this thing's moving.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, when you have daylight, it moves all day long. When you put it in front of light, it moves all day long. You put it on your desk, and it's just there. And they've got all 30 teams, by the way, including, of course, the Padres. You can enter to win one right now. Go to our Instagram page, search for John and Jim, or you can get 10% off right now. There's a promo code in the link down below in the description and pinned in the live chat, PWS10, to get 10% off. I mean, Jim, I've had this for maybe 72 hours. You've had it for 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly cool piece. My 5-year-old thinks it's phenomenal. My wife loves it. It's just a cool, office decor piece.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you have a Padre fan in your life. Maybe you have a fan of someone else in your life. It's just a really cool, unique piece. And we're excited to be working with Mova Globes, and hopefully Padres fans have an opportunity to take advantage of some of these offers.
Yeah, so I'll get to some things in the chat in a minute. But this right here, we're giving away one of these on our Instagram page at John and Jim. Check them out. Descriptions in the link below and pinned to the chat. It's not just a Padres Mova Globe, but if you want to get another team's globe, they're licensed by Fanatics, and Major League Baseball. And they also sell some really, really cool like Earth globes and solar globes. And it's powered by light and magnets here. The closer it is to light, or the more light that's on it, the more it spins. And it's, like John said, very soothing. It's very like aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And if you're a Padres fan, I feel like this would be a great bookshelf office gift for anybody out there that you're looking to buy a gift for either Father's Day or birthday or holidays or whenever.
By the way, and last point on this right now, and again, click the link in the description down below for more information. I think you guys are going to love it. Like, this thing just spins for eternity. There's no batteries. There's no cords. You put it wherever you want. You put it in your home. You put it on your desk. You put it wherever, and it spins with light. It's really incredible. You have to see it to believe it. It's an incredible piece. You can get 10% off right now with promo code PWS10 by clicking the link in the description down below. And Mova Globes, thank you for your partnership. We're looking forward to working with you, and we're looking forward to our viewers checking it out. And again, go to our Instagram page, and you can enter to win that giveaway. We're giving one of these away right now. Search for John and Jim on Instagram. All right, let's get going here tonight, Jim. All right, thank you, Jared, for the first super of the night. He says, I just love when Manny blows bubbles instead of running to first after the third baseman boots the shit out of the ball. I mean, isn't he our captain? So let me just say this. The circumstances here where I get more upset is not at Manny not, quote unquote, hustling or sprinting down the line. We have said this repeatedly, Jim, over the last 96 hours. He's not healthy, or the last week. So you're not going to see him sprinting on the field. The bigger issue is if he's not healthy, which we all agree. I mean, look at the way he ran down the first base line. If he can't play to his fullest extent, then why is he active? So that's the question. It's not like this became a big deal on social media. Mets fans talking about it, baseball fans talking about it, everyone trolling Manny Machado, a lot of questions. And oh my gosh, I can't believe he runs like that down the line. Well, if you don't know the backstory, the guy is hurt. But okay, if you're hurt, then why are you playing? So that to me is the bigger concern. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Again, any other runner in baseball, Jim, is safe there because every other runner in baseball is healthy other than Manny Machado right now. So I'm more concerned with him being active and not healthy than his quote unquote like inability to get down the line here tonight.
I mean, this is exactly what I was worried about. And why last week I was so kind of on the side of just like go on the IL for just like just do it. Like, what are we doing here? And I knew this was going to happen. I knew there was going to be an instance, and he got lucky for, this last series that there really wasn't a moment where this type of thing could have happened. And also, by the way, it doesn't help Manny that it's 1 in New York and 2 versus the Mets. Like, if it's against the A's, maybe no one's really talking about it nationally, but you are now searching Manny Machado on social media, and the first thing you see is Manny jogging up the first base line, blowing a bubble.
Yeah.
No one's going to research that he is injured. No one's going to research that he's probably under strict orders to not run full speed. And by the way, Manny's not going to be running full speed right now because he can't run full speed because he's got a fucked up quad. All right. Strained his quad. That's an injury that takes longer than 6 days to heal or however long, whatever. And this has nothing to do, I think, with like his conditioning or people saying he's overweight or I don't think it has anything to do with that. The only thing that has to do with is he's playing injured or he's playing hurt. Excuse me. He's playing hurt. He's playing hurt and he's playing with an injury that is not going to allow him to run faster than like 60%. So
and he doesn't run fast as it is.
No, he doesn't. But I bet
he doesn't get down the line.
I bet you if he was fully healthy, he beats it out. He beats that grounder out tonight in the 7th.
I would hope so. I mean, you're in a 1-run game leading off an inning. It's a completely, it's a big spot. I mean, and all spots are big. This is the major leagues, and that's why I understand the critiquing of why is Manny Machado active if he's not healthy. And here's the other thing that you always say, and this is accurate. If you are active and playing, then you're accountable for your
That's
performance or lack thereof. So
Yep.
if you're out there, people are going to be critical. You're in New York, you're blowing bubbles down the line. That's one thing. The ninth inning, completely different. It's going to happen. You're not going to be perfect in these spots, but it feels like he fails a lot in these spots where you have an opportunity to do something productive. Nobody needed. We would have taken the go-ahead 2-run home run, but how about move the runner to third with nobody out and a runner at second base? How about single? How about have a productive, good at bat, as opposed to 3 strikeouts and 4 ABs here today? The only time you didn't strike out was that, BS, blowing bubbles down the first base line here today. So again, heavy's the head that wears the crown, and that is Manny Machado. And I guess Padres fans are just supposed to deal with this until he heals. And that's frustrating. He's not hitting 415 and carrying this team. He's just playing, like you said, at 50% and just DHing because there's nothing else he can do right now because he's not healthy.
And he's not going on the IL.
No.
He never was. I argued that it kind of was a no-brainer. I mean, dude, if you can't run, what are you doing? There's no, I mean, get healthy. The quad, I feel like a muscle strain is something that could, like, if you push it too hard, could easily get re-injured. And if Darvish, for just, I guess, his hamstring tightness or whatever, is going to go on the IL, then why is Manny not going on the IL for a quad strain?
Because it's Manny Machado.
I know. Well, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. And, when he sprained his ankle in 2022 in Colorado, and he was back out there a couple days later, for the next month or so, he did not play well. Now, granted, I think he was still playing third base out there, and a twisted ankle is a little different than a strained quad or hamstring. Like a strained muscle is different than a twisted ankle, but still, if he's out there, he needs to produce and he needs to perform. And tonight, going over 4, 3 strikeouts, ninth inning looking, that to me is what I would direct my frustration with Manny Machado at. Not him jogging down the first base line.
What else can he do?
Because there's nothing else he can do. If this was a situation where Manny never got hurt and he did that tonight, then it's scorched earth towards Manny Machado. 100%.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I was critical of him. What was it, Jim, a month ago for not hustling?
Yeah.
And it was kind of a big thing because a lot of people, certainly in the chat and on social media, came to his defense. Well, he knows his body and it's a long season and he's going to play 155 games. He's going to hit 30 home runs. I'm like, but any other player that doesn't run out a double play ball, he could have stayed out of a double play. But for whatever reason, like I said that night, Jim, you remember it a month ago, I'm like, Manny, for whatever reason, has his own rules. And we've been fed this narrative by him that everyone accepts. You know what I mean? That the rules don't apply to him. Now, I'm not saying that tonight. I'm not. But it looks like if you watch this play and you watch it on social media, if like you said, if you're scrolling on social media and you're some dude in Milwaukee and you're scrolling and you're a baseball fan, you're like, what the F is this?
Yep.
That's your first impression. If you watch that tonight, you don't do the research. You don't care about the backstory. By the way,
I apologize. Hip flexor strain or whatever it is. If it's a hip flexor, it's whatever he's injured with, officially, it's causing him to not be able to run fast.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say hip flexor is more like high quad groin. Hip flexor is like that attached area. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the
it's not great.
Yeah, not whatever it is. It's causing him that he can't run, and I think also too, a lot of people, the perception. I'd say this all the time. Perception's reality. Okay, and if you're gonna blow a bubble while jogging down the first base line, you already. I mean, Manny Machado is already carrying the baggage of everything that he's done in his past with him. Probably not the best look, I would agree. So yeah, maybe
what also isn't the best look? A 677 OPS on June 15th, which is tomorrow with 6 home runs. I mean,
that's way worse.
This is getting to the point of a massive disappointing season. He's hitting 248, which is actually up over last month. He's had some moments. He hasn't yet carried them. I know he's hurt, but he's the guy. I mean, if they're not going to win and he's going 0 for 4, then the first person you're turning your attention to is either Manny Machado or Manny McNuggets. Manny McNuggets, thank you for the super chat. Might be a super sticker. Doesn't appear in our software, but you see it on YouTube. So thank you, Manny McNuggets, for your support of the channel. If you're here, guys, subscribe. Year-round content for Padres fans. If you're here, thank you for the super chats as well. Click the $ below the chat box. Like Michael, good to have you, man, here in the chat with us tonight. He says, wish Major League Baseball treated captaincy like the NHL captains and alternate captains to set culture. I see Merrill being that guy. Manny can still be, but with less pressure, like an alternate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's funny. I don't even know. Is it because baseball doesn't do any captaincy, right? At any point, do they? Do the Yankees, have they done it over the years?
The Yankees have named Aaron Judge the captain. Salvi Perez wears the C on his chest for the Royals. Right. They had Jeter as the appointed captain for the Yankees. I think Buster Posey was the appointed captain for the Giants.
This guy can't be the captain because I read the article in the UT last year. Because like everyone's poked holes in Manny Machado as a player off the field. That what is this high school? His own words. What is this high school baseball?
26 leaders, 26 captains.
Yeah, we're all, I don't believe that. Yeah, like I do it by my actions, not my words. I just don't buy it with Manny. Again, when it's good, it's really good. Unfortunately, with the Padres, this is his 6th season. There have been some bad years in there. Yeah. Like out of the 6 seasons, there have been like 1 really good season and then 4.5 other years right now. So it's tough. You make $350 million, Jim, plus a $300 million deal before that, and you're the face of everything. When it's good, it's good. But there's been a lot of not good here as well. Therefore, he takes the brunt of it.
Right. And again, the thanks for the super, Michael. Appreciate it, buddy.
Appreciate you, man.
I just think that like the directed anger towards Manny is going to the side of the part that is very easily explained tonight. Now, is it a bad look because of his rep? Yeah, it is not great. Him blowing the bubble down the first base line, jogging, the guy at third bobbles the ball, any other player safe, but he's out by 2 feet. Like, yeah, it's a bad look. It is. It's easily explained. Like, I can easily explain it and not easily, but I can excuse it, right? But then the excuse becomes the problem because the problem or the excuse is like you're out there playing injured, and then you go to the side of you're also not helping the team much offensively, and you have to be fully healthy for this team in the long run, and you got to produce. And what if, John, you playing right now through this injury is prolonging and making your recovery time longer than it would have been if you just went on the IL?
Not what if. I mean, it is. That's just how this stuff works, right? Like, let me guess. Are you going to be better off doing a full true rehab of an injury or doing a quasi rehab and playing at the highest level of the sport? And if you can get a quote unquote get away with that, you're doing it at the expense of something. What is that? His ability to run and his ability to field. They're not even putting him in the field. So
no.
It's a bad situation is what it is. Fortunately, they're a good enough team that, again, if they were 20 games under 500, it's completely different. They're fine right now. This doesn't define their season, but they need Manny. I said today, Tatis been really good, and Profar we know has been really good. Do they even need Manny? But you can't have nights like this. You can't have nights like this in the big league where every time you lose and you look at Manny Machado, he's 0 for 4. Like, I mean, he's the difference between winning and losing tonight. I know there's a lot of people that are the difference between winning and losing, but you get a runner over, you can win this game. You get a runner in, you can win this game. Mm-hmm. And that falls on him. I mean, it just does.
I do think there needed to be some question after the game about that play in particular. I mean,
yeah, I didn't watch Postgame.
I didn't hear anything. I haven't read anything yet. We might have seen
it all.
I haven't heard anybody ask Manny, "Hey, Manny, in that what was it? 7th inning, right?
7th inning.
In that 7th inning, or I would just ask this: are you able to run 100%? Then
we know the answer.
But I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's where you get your answer to why he was jogging up the first base line and blowing bubbles. Is if he tells you, like, look, I'm giving everything I have out there. I'm playing through something right now, and I've been told probably not to push it, and I'm just trying to heal. I'm trying to give everything I can, and Manny would obviously throw in, that's just baseball. That's baseball. That's baseball. But I'm getting better and blah, 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 blah. But, like, is anybody going to ask him that? Is anybody going to go up in the clubhouse and ask him, like, hey, Manny, 7th inning there, ground ball to third baseman bobbles it. It was shown you maybe not going 100% up the line. Are you able to run 100%? Are you still feeling the effects of your hip flexor strain? Like, and then you get
also, what are you looking? What are you looking for in the 9th inning?
Oh, he argued that pitch. That was literally
he kind of like looked and thought about it and kind of headed back. He thought about it. It was basically middle away. If you're not looking for a 99-mile-per-hour fastball from Edwin Diaz in that spot, then what are you possibly looking for? What could you possibly be looking for in that spot? You have 2 strikes on you. You have to fend off. You have to be willing to swing away. What on earth are you looking for in that spot? It's just nonsensical. Manny McNuggets, thank you for the super chat. He says Manny 670 OPS proves 2 things. He loves his love for McDonald's chicken nuggets, his financial obligation to San Diego FC. I mean, I think that's I don't think it has anything to do with, like, whether he's quote unquote in shape or not, or his weight. I really don't. I think it has more to do with his actual health, like whether he's hurt or not. Forget about the San Diego FC thing, obviously, but it's just been a bad year is what it's been, Jim. I mean, it's just been a flat out bad year. He's coming off the elbow. Now he's got a hip flexor, and he just hasn't performed all year. So I don't know how he explains it to himself, but I just explained this. It's been an awful year for him.
Yeah, awful year. Him and Tatis both going 0 for tonight wasn't great, but Tatis is also, carried this team offensively for the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
He can have an 0 for 4 night here and there if he's going to put up big, those numbers consistently. But I just look at tonight as a night, once again. It's not even about it's about the 9th inning. I'm like, if I want to shrink this down to one singular moment, it's not him jogging up the first base line in the 7th. It's not him going a total 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. It's that 9th inning, runner on second,
nobody out.
Profar put together a great at bat versus Diaz.
Now you got the steal.
Zokar gets the steal, and you gotta at worst get the runner to third.
Gotta get him over.
Look at a called third strike. Pretty much, right down the middle.
I mean, kind of down the middle of the plate. I mean, it wasn't exactly surprising where it ended up.
So
middle away.
Again, I have heard a lot this season so far when, like, oh, Manny's clutch. It's like, not this year.
Oops.
Great. What happened? There we go.
We back.
Like, man, like it's a fact. Unless you suck up to Manny and you're up in the media, Manny has not been clutch this season. He has not been clutch for the last year and a half plus. He's had now a year plus 2+ months here of bad baseball. Is it because of injuries? Is it because he's recovering from his elbow? Last year, is it because of the elbow? It's whatever it is, he's out there and he's always going to say, I'm never going to be sitting on the bench. I'm never going to go on the IL. It's kind of one of those, like a blessing and a curse thing with Manny. Like, it's a great quality to have that you're always going to go out there and you're always, regardless, going to play. But if you're hurting the team, that's when you get into the like area of, dude, just like go rest, go heal. Like, you're not, like, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. If you go on the IL, no one's going to say you're not good. I mean, just Go get healthy.
The funny thing is he needs to prove to a lot of Padres fans, I agree with you. He doesn't have to prove anything, and he can go in the IL. What he needs to prove to Padres fans this year is he's capable of delivering for a team that could kind of desperately use him. They're a 500 team. They could absolutely use him playing better than he is. Thank you to our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz. All right, he's been with us for 3 years on the wrap-up show. He's in Hawaii right now. He's texting us from Hawaii on his vacation about Manny Machado. So you know he's dialed in and locked in and thinking more about, I think, Padres Mets than he is maybe his Hawaiian vacation. But if you have an insurance need, I mean, you know that he is a great insurance agent. How do you know it? Because I've told you, because he is. And I've got life insurance and earthquake insurance and homeowners insurance. He's an amazing insurance agent. He saved us so much money. I mean, he saved myself, my wife, our family so much money. We had to file a claim 2 years ago in here. We were out of our house for weeks. He took care of everything. He saved us thousands of dollars, dozens of hours of time. And he's just such a good insurance agent to the point that I emailed him earlier this week. He emailed me back from the flight to Hawaii. So he's a terrific agent. He's got great service and communication. He can save you $750 or more just by switching your insurance. You can click the link in the description down below, get free quotes online, or call Mark, and he'll give you free quotes, and he'll talk to you about the Padres as well. So if you support our channel, please support a San Diegan, lifelong Padres fan. If you have any insurance need, whatever it is, get in contact with our buddy Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance.
All his information is in the ticker below. Reach out to our buddy Mark at mnimitz@farmersagent.com, and you can, when you do, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
I mean, this is the classic perception is reality. Thank you, Jared. Not mad at him, not running, mad at the bubble. Just take it seriously or sit. That's the issue. When you get tens of thousands of replays on social media and presumably elsewhere beyond social media, and people see you're blowing a bubble when you can't get down the line. And this was the classic example. Jim, we said this a week ago. I said there's going to be a situation where he like cues a ball, a swinging bunt 30 feet down the line, and every runner in baseball would be safe. And he's not. Or even we said the day he pinch hit, what if he had singled to right field and was thrown out?
Yeah.
At first, because he had singled to right field, because he just flat out cannot move. So again, an inability to run is where he's at. The fact that he's active, somebody has to be accountable for that. The blowing bubbles, I don't really know if he even realizes he's doing it, but it certainly is an awful look optically.
Yeah, it's kind of just instinctual. I don't think he realizes he's doing it. He blows bubbles.
They have
all
a
the time.
bobblehead with him blowing bubbles, don't they?
Do I have it over there? Yeah, I have it over there.
Yeah.
I have a Manny Machado blowing a bubble while making a great defensive play bobblehead. So he just, that's just what he does. I mean, it's not something that he's thinking about like, oh, I'm just going to blow a bubble while I'm doing, like, he blows a bubble like all the time when he's running or in the field. Like when he's mid at bat, he blows a bubble. Like that's just what he does. It's just unfortunate that you have him blowing a bubble coupled with him jogging up the first baseline, and you have that reason be because he's injured and hurting, and he can't run full speed up the first baseline, because if he did, he'd potentially get even more injured. And then you go to then why are you even playing conversation? And then you go to like, well, who's better than Manny? If Manny can go out there and swing a bat, would you want him to go swing a bat, or do you want to have Tyler Wade out there? And it's like, well, you want Manny Machado out there because Manny Machado is better than Tyler Wade at 50%. But then you're like, well, Manny's not helping us. And then you're like, well, if Tyler Wade was out there, he would have beat out that grounder to third. And you can go back and forth and back and forth. There's the end of the day, all of that right there that I just said, the equation equals Manny's going to play.
But the other thing that we haven't discussed greatly this season is how many games has he even played in the field? So
I don't know.
Part of his value, obviously, is his defense. I mean, you could argue a lot of his value right now would be with his defense. This year, he has played in the field 26 times. So he had the elbow, and then he basically got it to a point where it was almost every day for a month. Let's say that. Month off, got it to the point where they got him to every day for roughly 3 weeks. And now when is the next time we will see him in the field? And that's how you know the next time he's actually healthy. The next time we see him in the field. What's that?
I mean, Kevin with us today made it seem like he was going to be out there like tomorrow in the field. He looked great. Defense. I mean, he was out there doing drills. Man, he looked awesome. Well, if he's jogging up the first baseline tonight, he's not ready to play in the field, because that tells me he's still like hurt. Unless he is not hurting. You know what? Actually, here's the thing, John. If he's in the field tomorrow playing third,
well, then he should have been running down the line.
Then this tonight, him jogging the first base line becomes what
looks worse. You can't
becomes what every hater
tomorrow.
of Manny Machado wants desperately, which is, this to be him dogging up the first base line for whatever reason.
Yeah, you almost can't put him in the field tomorrow, but you got to protect him and pretend like he's actually hurt. Because because if that is your effort for a team that supposedly, hey, we're going to be the aggressor and we're going to out hustle, we're going to outwork, and then you show that on the field, like I'm telling you guys, we could turn on all 15 Major League Baseball games tonight. You'll never see someone run like that down the line. No. You'll never. Now, again, a lot of it is defensible because we're saying he's not healthy. But if he's in the field tomorrow, to your point, then what does that say about whether he's healthy? The whole thing is a mess. The whole thing is a complete mess. Paul, thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
He says, when is the Manny bubblegum bobblehead night? It's already happened. It is truly happened.
Last year, right?
So it was a year ago, but they could probably do it again.
Literally have it right over there in the corner.
HBBV, thank you for the super and the membership. He says Manny needs to hustle like he does to Louis Vuitton.
It is crazy because tonight, like, I would say, and I think you would agree, this is the most legitimate hatred towards Manny I've seen in a while.
I don't know if it's really coming from Padres fans because I haven't seen a ton of it. I mean, obviously the people that are here tonight are being critical, but are you seeing it widespread across social media? Absurd criticism. I'm seeing it nationally. I'm seeing these accounts run with it, but will it ever really impact him locally? Like, are Padres fans turning on 31-year-old Manny Machado? I don't think so.
I look at, let me give this guy a shout. I'm gonna give you a shout out, Will Holder. Love you, Will. I mean, usually when you like retweet stuff, it's kind of like you're retweeting that opinion because you kind of agree with that opinion.
Okay.
Now he did say, I only enjoy third base Manny Machado.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry I'm reading your
he's
tweets,
DH and
but he did retweet this, and I'm kind of was like, oh, that's interesting. And this is not an indictment on Will. I'm just saying. Look, I get Manny was great. I have his jersey. But what he's done this last year and a half is unacceptable. Never mind the fact he came into the 2023 season demanding a new contract. Instead of focusing on a World Series run, crying about the cost of eggs or some shit, kind of had it, to be honest. Like, is there really a sentiment out there, a group of Padres fans and of like, you've had it with Manny Machado?
I think at most it's a vocal minority. I don't think it's a large contingent of the fan base. I really don't. I think if he doubles tomorrow, people will completely spin their opinion on him. I will say this: the Padres could use someone like Brian Windhorst calling him out. I mean, I'm like, and maybe that's like someone. And again, it's not going to come from the clubhouse. It's not going to come from the manager. It really probably shouldn't even at this point. That's not. But like, it's not me and you doing it, and there is no Brian Windhorst.
I've tried.
I mean, and it's not relevant. I mean, Jeff Passan doesn't go on SportsCenter and call out players. Nobody cares. They don't talk about Major League Baseball. They're talking about Game 4 of the NBA Finals. They're talking about the Chiefs Super Bowl ring. Jeff Passan's relevance nationally is limited to social media and a couple of hits on SportsCenter here and there. But like, does anyone have the willingness to say that he has underperformed? I mean, we have the willingness to say it, and then it's seen as, oh, you guys are so critical of Manny Machado. No, we're telling you the truth. And now again, like me and you saying it's our opinion. Like, where's Jeff Passan? Where's whomever willing to say, hey, you know what? Ever since Manny got that deal, and not to say it's tied to the deal, but the truth is the truth. You're making $350 million, therefore it's irrelevant. I'm not saying it's tied to the deal, but where's the narrative nationally to say, man, this guy's really underperformed since signing that deal? It's amazing that he's been able to dodge that.
Who in baseball that's like a superstar player has like won a World Series, still with that team, big contributor? Like, I'm trying to think. It's not Aaron Judge, not Bryce Harper, even though, but like,
who's won a World Series that's been a key contributor?
Because my point is Manny's done nothing here, frankly. I mean, if we want to be really honest about this, what has Manny done here in his time in a Padres uniform?
I mean, 2022, very
Okay.
good season, second in MVP voting, arguably could have won it for a good team. That's what he's
Okay.
done.
Well, if that's it in 6 years, not good enough for the amount of money he's being paid, is the point. Even with Bryce Harper leading the Phillies to, what is it, back-to-back World Series? Or no. Did he lead them
No,
back-to-back?
National League Championship Series, no World Series.
Oh, a World Series. If he doesn't perform, he's going to get criticized because they haven't won a World Series. And until they win a World Series, people are not going to be satisfied in Philadelphia. Everyone loves Bryce Harper there, and I think Bryce Harper has a great connection with that city. But I guarantee you, if Bryce Harper struggles, and in turn the team struggles, guess what's going to happen? Bryce is going to get criticized. If Aaron Judge in New York struggles and the Yankees struggle, he's going to get criticized. Kind of like what happened last year with Aaron Judge. Didn't have a great season coming off a 62 home run year, and that team was criticized, but also he was saying the right things post-season, or not postseason, but like after the season. And my point is, like, what has Manny done here? And we had the same conversation about Tatis. What has Tatis done here? They've done nothing. They've accomplished nothing.
I think nothing is far-fetched. I truly
what have they
feel that
accomplished?
way. I mean, here's the thing. I always thought when Manny signed here, he'd be judged by, can I bring a World Series to the city of San Diego? But now halfway through his tenure here, essentially, who knows how many years he plays here, if he lives out that deal or not. Let's just say he's played 6 of his 12 seasons here, whatever. I'm not fully convinced that the narrative on Manny at the end of the day is going to be related to winning a World Series or not.
I think
it might be, hey, he didn't live up to expectations beyond that. I always thought it'd be tied to a World Series. I really did. I mean, what that meant in the moment, post-Chargers, the money, I always thought he just had to win a World Series here for it to be justified as a good contract. Now you're into a second contract. I don't know. All these markets are unique, Jim. And we've talked about this narrative so much this year. In New York, they're held accountable, and in San Diego, they're not. I'm making it up. Whomever said that. We've talked about this multiple times with players saying this or that theme on social media. I don't feel it's anything like that. I don't know how Manny's going to be received at the end of his time here. And I don't know if it'll be solely based on, quote unquote, what has he won here? Because again, if we use that threshold, there's not a lot of winning that's been done here. Like Fernando Tatis Jr. has been an unbelievable individual over portions of his career. Comes up in 2019, he's brilliant, doing these crazy matrix slides and hitting 40 home runs. And that's a big total in Padres history in 2021. Manny Machado finishes second in MVP voting. They're in the National League Championship Series. These aren't things that are accomplished every day in Padres history. I'm not saying they can't do more. They can. But I think saying they haven't accomplished anything is probably too far.
Then what have they accomplished?
Well, they've gotten to a National League Championship Series, they being Manny. Manny's finished second in MVP voting. Tatis has 2 top 3 finishes, I think, in his career as a 25-year-old. I'm saying they've done work. They have done work. Maybe not the work that is necessary to get the franchise where it needs to go or to lift them collectively as a team. But, Toddy ain't Jerks and Profar here in his tenure. And Manny isn't Jake Cronenworth here in his tenure. Although we'd have to look at the numbers. He's been better. My point is, like, they've put in work. Has it been enough? No.
How many All-Star games has Manny made while in San Diego? 2?
I don't even know if it's 2. It's at least 1. There was 2020 no All-Star game. So he could only qualify for 4. There's only been 4 years he's played here until this year.
Okay. I see in the chat.
2,
well, Tony Gwynn didn't win anything here. Tony Gwynn
he made a World Series.
Series.
That's different.
He's won 2 pennants with the Padres. He's a 15-time All-Star. He's a 7-time Silver Slugger. He's an 8-time batting champ. He's a 5-time Gold Glove winner. He's a career lifetime
MVP.
338
is that what we're
hitter.
going to use? Or is that what we're going to use, though? Piling up this type of award? I mean, I don't even care about that. I don't care about Gold Gloves. I don't care about Silver Sluggers. I don't care about Platinum Gloves.
I'm just saying, in the time that Manny has been here, okay, the amount of money, and the money plays a factor in this as well, no doubt about it, in my mind. Like, you sign Manny Machado. Why are you signing Manny Machado if you're not signing him to like go to World Series?
Well, you did. That's the thing. But what happens over time is that like narratives change. I don't like it. Okay, when Manny Machado retires,
For guys making
I'm just making this
350
up.
million?
If he retires with 3,000 hits and 500 home runs, that'll be a lot of the story. Part of the story will be, he never won a World Series. But again, I think it's different. Listen, if he's a Yankee for 12 straight years, if he's a Yankee for 12 straight years and doesn't appear in or win a World Series, that's all anyone cares about.
So
but he's not.
Why shouldn't that be the case here too?
Because it's not. Because we live here and I consume it and it's consumed differently. And it's viewed differently. And I think some agree with us, but I think some don't.
So just because this franchise has won nothing, then the standard should be who cares if they win?
It's not that. But let me ask you this. Manny gets the 3,500. He goes in the Hall of Fame as a Padre.
And they don't make one World Series.
Are people booing at Coopers now?
He doesn't win one World Series or go to one World Series?
As a Padre?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if he gets the 3,000 hits and 500 home runs and goes in as a Padre, he'll be celebrated. Let's continue on. Slot ain't easy. Thank you. Says Manny too prideful for a sack bunt. Thoughts? I didn't watch the whole plate appearance. I'm assuming you have to swing away. You have to swing away.
It wasn't a great at bat.
He's swinging, right? I mean, you can't. I mean, Manny Machado should not be bunting. I mean, unless it's the complete element of surprise and it's all on him and he just determines to do it. But no, you can't. I mean, you can't. He's got to come through. He's got to be able to move a runner. He's got to be able to come through. You cannot bunt, right?
No,
it's as simple as that.
No fuck.
No way.
If Manny's bunting,
everyone's going to be calling him out for that,
dude.
Yeah, that would be a whole nother story. All right, let's get back to this in a moment. We do want to tell you about our partner here on the Wrap Up Show. Our buddies at Finnley, great guys, San Diegans, local startup right here in San Diego, right? Huge Padres fans. They have offices that overlook Petco Park. Actually, you see inside Petco Park from their offices over the outfield walls. Quickest way to explain Finnley is this. They allow fans to own a piece of the potential upside of real athletes. Someone like a Shedry Vargas, who is one of the top prospects right now in the Texas Rangers organization. He is their first athlete that they have on board. He had 2 home runs yesterday, by the way, for a Rangers single-A affiliate. He's still only 19 years of age. And you can support a rising prospect and get paid a piece of his future major league earnings, okay? He signed for very little money. They're raising money that's going to allow him to focus on baseball year-round. As you'll see on the screen as I scroll down, if you click the link in the description down below and then scroll down, you can see you can invest in Vargas for as little as $96. And based on his success, that determines how much of investment return you'll receive, dividends, potential investment return or dividends. So $96 could truly turn into hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, and then more money, like, hundreds of dollars could turn into tens of thousands of dollars, and thousands of dollars could turn into even more than that. So, nobody knows what's going to happen with the Shedry Vargas. Fernando Tatis Jr. was a player that did something similar with a company called Big League Advance. He gave up 10% of future earnings, maybe more than that, which is like 30, 40, 50 million dollars. Like, imagine if you as an individual could have invested in Fernando Tatis Jr. So you have that opportunity with the Shedry Vargas. If you're looking for more information on a really cool San Diego-based company, click the link in the description down below.
Yep. Glad that Finnley's on board. We have something planned with Finnley that I think we're going to announce here in the near future. So stay tuned for that. But we're glad that Finnley is on board, and all the information is in the description below. Click the link and check out their website. Glad they're on board.
All right. Back to the Supers. Thank you, Finnley. Thank you guys for hanging out. Subscribe here on content for Padres fans, the home of real Padres talk, as you can tell. I mean, is this being discussed elsewhere? Like, this is your home for real Padres talk, so subscribe. And also, thank you for the Supers. Click the $ below the chat box. Joshua says, what do we call it now that our rookie center fielder is putting up better numbers than our highest paid player on the team? You know what I would call that? Baseball. And Manny would call it the same thing. That actually can happen. You have guys that make $700K that have good years all the time. Relievers, starters, position, that happens all the time. Garrett Crochet. I mean, there's a zillion examples of this. I don't know. I guess it's good that the Padres have Jackson Merrill as opposed to not having him. Because Trent Grisham wouldn't be doing this.
No, I think the great thing with Jackson Merrill this year is rarely has anybody felt like pressure on him? Has at any point in this season you felt like he was dealing with any type of like real pressure?
Jackson?
Yes.
No.
Right. So that's a great thing to have is, hey, I go out there every day. I'm hitting 7th, 8th, or 9th, probably 7th, right? There's not this, I'm not making $300 million, which it would be nice to make $300 million. But again, I'm fighting for, every at bat, every pitch. I'm a rookie. I need to prove myself, but also I know that I got to be locked in on everything. And with that, that's kind of not where Manny's at. Manny doesn't have to worry about, he got his contract. He's a vet. He's a guy that has dealt with like almost every situation possible.
True.
And I think with Jackson Merrill, you're seeing a guy that just going out there and just playing baseball and having fun. And
yes,
thankfully, his struggles that he has had this year, albeit it's been brief, hasn't like fully got to him to the point where it's caused a downward spiral. And I think he's actually overcome a lot of that, and he's doing great. And I hope this is the Jackson Merrill that this team has, and he only improves instead of the other way around.
Now, this is a fascinating conversation that can't necessarily be discussed over a series of 1 hour or one night or 5 minutes. But Legend of the Fall, thank you for the super, says signing Machado over Harper was a franchise-altering mistake. Even when healthy, he doesn't hustle. Openly antagonistic to media and fans, he's a bad leader. You listen, in the what have you won? Harper's gotten to World Series here, like with his current team, where Machado hasn't. So that is a feather in Harper's cap. He's also been very clutch, obviously, in some postseason spots with the Phillies. He's still looking for a ring. Manny's still looking for a ring. That's fair and valid. He can't even go down the path. I don't know what it looks like. I really don't. Would it have been drastically different if Harper was here the last 6 years as opposed to Machado? Would they have a World Series? Would they have played in one? I can't answer it. I have no idea. Maybe, but I don't know. Is it franchise-altering mistake? Was it a franchise-altering mistake? That's hard. Listen, we're critical, but that's probably hard for me to say at this point.
Here's the thing. Harper was not signing here.
Well, there's that too.
Like, I know it's easy to think the Padres had their choice of the litter. They could have signed Machado or Harper, and they chose Machado. That's not what happened. What happened was two teams were in on Machado, the White Sox and the Padres. The Padres offered Manny the most money. If the White Sox offered the most money, he's probably in Chicago right now. Actually, take that back. He's in Chicago right now. I mean, imagine White Sox offered him $350 or whatever, and the Padres were at $3. Guess where he's going? He's going to the White Sox because both teams at the time sucked. So that's what it was. Same thing with Hosmer. Same thing with Manny. The Harper situation, Harper has said this, that he chose Philadelphia just like the same reasons why Trey Turner chose Philadelphia, because it wasn't about the money, even though the money had to be there, but he wanted to be in a place that he felt he could grow and an environment that he thought was best suited for him. And that wasn't San Diego. It was Philadelphia. The Padres would have needed to like blow the doors off of Bryce Harper as far as a money deal goes to even be in the conversation. And that wasn't happening because they just signed Manny. They had a discussion with Harper, but it was never getting anywhere past the discussion.
In the theoretical of, what if you would have signed Harper as opposed to Manny? I'm not fully convinced that everything would be roses in San Diego and it would have been this, 2 World Series appearances or 2 National League Championship Series appearances in the World Series and an MVP. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that would have happened. Maybe not. It's hard to do that. You can't do that. I mean, is Aaron Judge the same player if he's not a New York Yankee? How do we know? We don't. Different team, different franchise, different lineup, different organization.
Yeah.
Spicy Mayo, thank you. He says, in my opinion, Tatis is the guy, not Manny. Love what you all do. We appreciate you. I mean, I think right now Tatis has been more the guy, clearly, than Manny Machado, which is a credit to Tatis for kind of stepping up off some very challenging years for him. Yeah, right. He's done it, you're right, in season as well for Tatis, and hopefully continues. The last 2 days he's been hitless, 2 games. But one of the guys has to be the guy. I don't care who it is. It's not going to be both of them because they're not capable for whatever reason of both doing this at the same time. But it's one's better than zero because we saw zero performing for the first 6 weeks.
Like, until I don't see it, I still believe Manny's going to have at least one hot stretch this year. At least one.
Oh, he'll have one.
You know what I mean? Like, he's going to have one. I don't know when. I don't know. Like, if he goes through the entire season without one and he finishes the year with like a 660 or 650 OPS, then we can say what the actual fuck. But like, I still believe Manny's going to have a hot stretch in him. He just needs to be healthy. Like, because not being healthy right now is not really helping him or the team, which is probably the main issue with this whole thing, with the whole running down the first base line tonight. Like, you're not healthy and you're not helping the team. And then because you're hurt and injured, you have to jog up the first base line. And then it becomes like a really bad look. And it's anyway. I think I still would take a hot Manny Machado over a hot Tatis.
I don't even know what a hot Manny Machado looks like anymore, truthfully. What is that?
Well, whatever he did in 2022 for
stretches when he was like, been a while.
Yeah, because Manny's sitting in the middle of the lineup, Tatis sitting towards the top. So theoretically, if your middle of the order guy is absolutely raking, I think that's better off for your team. Because if you have a guy that's leading off, like I remember with Luis Ariz, I mean, he was on base every single game. But I would rather have if he's on base every game, the guy that's behind him, Manny, if he's not getting him in, then him being on base every game, it's not helping it. You need the guy to drive him in.
Yeah, well, Tatis, of course, is capable of driving himself in. Manny theoretically is, but Tatis more so. But Tatis is way more of a power hitter, in my opinion, than Manny Machado. Richard, thank you. He says, because it's coming from me, take this with a grain of salt. Manny's ego is his downfall. Now, Richard's a Dodger fan. If he is hurt, AJ needs to grow a pair and put him on the IL. Why do people walk on eggshells around him? There is this aura about him. He's just different. I don't know if this organization has set him up that way, if that same thing was happening with the Orioles, not the Dodgers in that short period of time. It was such a short period of time. But would it be like this if you play for the White Sox? Probably. Would it be like this if you play for the Cardinals? Probably not. Would he be like this if you play for the Yankees? No. But it seems like he does set the narrative and the rules.
Because the organization
lets it?
I mean, yeah. There's no one in there to check Manny. There's no one in there to it feels like there's nobody in this organization to truly hold people accountable. I mean, the manager sure as hell's not doing it. So it's up to the players. Manny is the top dog in that clubhouse, whether you like it or not. Manny's the top guy. And
no doubt,
it's his clubhouse. What he says goes.
Him and Stephen Kolek. Patman 0074, thank you.
26 leaders on the team.
Now, before you freak out, Pat's a loyal viewer and he's followed up by saying he loves the show. But he says, don't care what you say, Jim. You just don't like Manny, and that's fine. But he, along with Toddy and friends, have completely redefined the Padres.
Can I just... Okay. If anybody watched the 2022 year, when Manny was playing great, guess what? Praising Manny. When he wasn't playing great, criticize him, hold him accountable. Like, it's very simple. Like, you know how much shit I gave Tatis this year? How much shit I've given Xander Bogaerts for not getting it done? Like, has there been one player on this team that has not performed and me saying, I just actually love him, so I'm not going to like criticize them or try to hold them accountable.
No, it's just because these are high-profile players. Of course, we're going to talk more about Manny than we're going to talk about Adrian Morejon. Bad example, but you know what I mean? I mean, just how this is going to work. I mean, there's a handful of high-profile players in the Padres. They're going to warrant more of the conversation. Some of this from Patman's right. The organization is different. I mean, without the NFL here, with the money they've spent, they've got these polarizing players. They've got these high-profile players. Now, it hasn't worked out necessarily, wins and losses, but
And
are they relevant? Yeah, they're super relevant, but have they won? Not to the extent that people hope they're going to win at.
And even if I didn't like Manny, which I've never said I don't like him for the player, right? Where does it say that that's not acceptable for me? Because I cover the Padres, like I have to like every player because I consume this team and have Padres content like daily. Like I have to like every player, or do I view this team from a different lens of like performance based? Is that not acceptable?
No, I mean it is. I mean, you can cover it any way you want. I mean, you're right. I mean, we don't have to. You can like whomever you want. You can dislike whomever you want. We're offering our truly opinions, and we keep it typically between the lines, unless the players take us outside of them, like the way Manny Machado comments publicly, and like the articles that have been written by Dennis Lin, Ken Rosenthal, others, Kevin Acee, over the years that like
I have problems with
Manny in a bad light, including last year in September when he was basically, held accountable for the team's failures by Kevin Acee in the UT with all those players and individuals quoted.
Yeah, like that bothered me. I didn't like that at all. And you'll hear people in town that are, some Manny shills, and that doesn't bother them. I'm on the other hand, and I think John as well, like from a team sport wise aspect, like that should bother a lot of people, what he said. And then to back up those remarks and comments in his bad year last year with an even worse year this year, like that should make you upset. That should bother you. And I get it if you're, fans obviously view from a different lens, but I'm also saying from the standpoint of like Manny hasn't won anything here. So it's hard for me to see sometimes why there's this like, like
love affair.
Yeah, love with Manny. When I'm kind of like sitting here saying, yeah, he's an amazing player. He has done some amazing things on the field. But what has he done to negate being criticized? Like, why?
I'll tell you what he's done. I'll tell you what he's done. Of course, he can be criticized. Of course, everything you're saying is right. But I'll tell you what he's done that makes his time with the Padres different than if he had signed with the New York Yankees. Top free agents, whatever the reason.
Yeah.
Like you're right. He chose the top dollar, which was San Diego. Free agents historically do not choose San Diego.
Right.
I mean, for whatever that's worth, now it's changed a little bit. The narrative maybe has changed on that since Machado or, even like a Hosmer was a huge deal for them, which is absurd to think about. But like he chose San Diego, therefore he's kind of like one of ours, so to speak. Yankees have a dime a dozen, man. How many $200 million players have they signed over the last 20 years? A lot of them. But like there's only one $300 million man that chose San Diego. Tatis was here. He extended. Yeah, Bogarts chose here. He got a lot of money. It wasn't $300 million. I'm just saying, like, when he did it, it was almost impossible to fathom a player in his prime, 26, choosing San Diego over LA, New York, whatever the options were. You get it. I think there's something to be said for that. And the next time he has a 2-home run game, we're going to see the tweets. You guys know who you were that doubted Manny Machado. And you just got to live with it because that's just sports and that's opinions and that is what it is. But we all know the truth. And the truth is he's vastly underperformed since the start of 2023. And if you think otherwise, you're not being truthful with yourself. All right, let's get back to these supers here. JD Gasher, thank you, says it'll be a sad reflection on the Padres and Manny if his only World Series appearance comes as a Dodger. I agree with that. who would say LA did more with him in one half season. I mean, they were well set up. Let's be honest. They were already positioned to make the postseason. And they always have a team that's primed to potentially make a run in the postseason if they don't capitalize on that. But that is kind of damning. If he has one career World Series appearance as a half season as a rental with the Dodgers, and he also, of course, had the very infamous line of, "We're going to win a World Series before you do."
And the whole I'm not Johnny Hustle in the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot in there. There's been a lot.
Yeah, there's been a lot. That's why I think it just would go such a long way if if the 2022 team made the World Series and he was the best player on that team that year by far, right. You have something in your back pocket, be like, dude, this guy took this team to a World freaking Series. It gives him a little bit of leeway. Actually, a lot of bit of leeway.
He was 13 in the postseason that year. He was 13 for 48. I can't do the quick math on it.
It wasn't great.
Not great.
No, he wasn't great.
He had 3 home runs, 1 in each series.
I know. Yeah. He didn't have a good postseason that year. He didn't.
It wasn't bad. There
were still 3 wins away from
no, he had 271. 271 with 3 home runs, 3 series. I mean,
it's fine. It
wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. They're 3 wins away from a World Series. I mean, that's closest they've been in 20 plus years.
No, it wasn't bad. Matthew, thank you, says he blames Peter for Manny's terrible contract. I don't like blaming Peter.
Dude, it's so crazy.
Not here.
Isn't it crazy that 48 hours ago, World Series? I mean, this is exactly what we've been talking about.
But it's not true. This is more of a deep dive on Manny and his 6-year run than it is on tonight's loss. I mean, we started the show by saying they could still win the series. Who cares? One game. Dude, this National League sucks. They could do anything on this road trip, Jim. I'll be honest with you right now. They go 1-5 on this trip. Okay.
Still in it.
I mean, it would suck. They're still in it. You know what I mean? Nothing's being determined in this series. Nothing is. They win 1 of 3 as opposed to 2 of 3. Okay. Not ideal, but season ain't on the line tonight. It's not. What is being discussed, which is way more relevant, is A, is Manny healthy? The answer is no. B, will he produce for us this year for the Padres? We have no clue.
And
that's relevant.
By the way, also too, this conversation about Manny should have nothing to do with his. I know, Schulte loves to bring this up a lot of times. Oh, Manny doesn't care. No, dude, he cares a lot. Everybody cares.
Says that? Schulte says that post. Of course he cares.
Well, Schulte's brought up kind of impromptu about how much these players care.
Yeah, of course they care.
I would hope they care. They all care. This is not a case of lack of care or lack of want to or lack of trying. It's just they're just not getting it done.
Yeah.
He's not getting it done. Manny gives a big fuck about this team and baseball and everything.
You heard Jim.
So that should not even be anywhere near the conversation about Manny's struggles this season. He doesn't care. He took the money. He doesn't care. Yeah, I do have a problem with Manny last spring training and how he handled the contract with the Padres. But just because he got the money and he's not performed since, I don't think I've sat here once. I don't think anybody's sitting there, or they shouldn't, being well, he got the money, doesn't care anymore. He got the money, he's not performing, and it's a bad look on him. That's how it is.
No doubt about it. Okay, we're going to get back to the chat in a moment. We remind you that we've got a great partner here on the wrap-up show. You can play simple pick'em contesting with Underdog Fantasy. Best and easiest place to play fantasy sports is Underdog. Take that from us. We're playing essentially each and every day. We've had some huge wins. Jim's had a couple of $400 or $500 wins this year. If you use promo code PODSWRAP, you're getting a free special pick plus up to $250 as a first-time deposit. They're going to match 50% of your first deposit, where you can walk away with $250 in your first deposit with bonus cash plus the free special pick. Simple higher or lowers, right? You just pick, higher than a total base for Manny Machado or lower than 5.5 strikeouts for Matt Waldron. You get a couple of right, you can win. The more you get right, the more you can win. You can win 325 times your money in a single night. You heard me right. You can win big time with Underdog Fantasy. It's the best and easiest place to play. You can play Padres Pick'ems beginning tomorrow with Mets and Padres game 2 of the series. Just click the link in the description down below. And again, Use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. A free special pick plus up to $250 as a first-time deposit offer, Jim.
Yeah. Scan the QR code right here. Takes you to the Underdog Fantasy app store and Underdog Fantasy app in the app store. Download the app, use the promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Start playing, and your first $250 deposited. You can get some free money to win real money. It's super easy, super simple, and have fun, guys.
Promo code again is PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Play along with us. You can play Padres pick'ems across all sports, by the way. NBA, they'll have a fifth game. NHL, whatever it is. NFL, college football coming up later this year. Patman 0074, thank you again for the super. He says Manny's a jerk. Prideful too, but acting like a Hall of Fame Padre didn't do anything meaningful for San Diego seems dishonest. Love you guys, though. My favorite Padres show. Thank you. But acting like a Hall of Fame Padre didn't do anything meaningful for San Diego seems dishonest. I mean, who knows what happens over the next 10 years?
Are you talking about
or
Manny?
6? What?
Is he talking about Manny?
I think Manny's a jerk, he says, right?
Manny's a jerk, but acting
Prideful
like a Hall of
too.
Fame Padre. Manny's not a Hall of Famer yet.
Oh, Bill, he'll certainly be a Hall of Fame. Well, he'll be a whatever they call their Wall of Fame, Hall of Fame. He'll be a Padre Ring of Honor.
And you know what the great thing about this whole discussion about Manny Machado is like his career's not over.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got years and years.
These discussions about Manny Machado could all go away if in the next couple of years this team makes it to, or hell, even wins a World Series.
Right. Or it could get a lot, the narrative could shift more towards what we've said, which is, has this guy won,
Yeah, like the amount of money that they've invested into Manny Machado, I don't think they were thinking like, oh, we're just going to have a couple years where we compete, a couple years where we make the postseason, never win a division, and we'll make one NLCS appearance. Like, I think, honestly, everybody's expecting more, as they should. That's a good thing from this whole team, not just Manny, this whole team. The amount of, resources and money and trades that has been invested into this team over the last 5+ years with when Manny first signed here in 2019. I don't think the end result to the run, whenever it ends, was a couple postseason appearances with one NLCS run in it.
But like you said, that we're reading a book that has 400 pages and we've read 190 pages.
Right.
That's a lot of pages to be read. Now maybe the 190 pages that we've read are the best because that's when he was his youngest, and the next 210 suck.
It's like it's like a TV series, like a TV series, and episode 3 and 5 were like really good, 5 being the best, but episodes 1, 2, 3, 6 or whatever like have all
but what if
sucked.
8, 9, and 10 are like unbelievable?
That's the thing, is you're sitting there being like, look, I have not liked this show so far. A couple episodes have been really good, and I really hope they stick the landing with episode 8, 9, 10 in the finale. They have an opportunity. Do I have much faith that they'll stick this landing and have a great finale? Yet to be, not really, but I'm still going to watch, still going to consume, and I hope that the end of the series, it turns out to be a banger. Because right now, leading up to whatever episode they're on out of a 10-part series or whatever, it's not been great, albeit a couple episodes being really good.
Kai, thank you for the super chat. Guys, if you're here, please subscribe here on Content for Padres Fans, the home of real Padres talk. Thank you for the super chats. Click the $sign below the chat box. He says, at their best, Tatis is a far, far better player. I mean, I'm taking Tatis over Manny any day of the week. He's 25. Machado is 31, coming off significant injuries. Man, Toddy too, obviously, over the course of the last 24 months or so. But yeah, I'm taking Tatis over Manny at this point in their careers. I would, if I had to, I would take Tatis over Manny. Certainly. If someone said, hey, forecast out through 2026, the next 2.5 years, I'm taking Tatis over Manny every day of the week.
Now, I don't even know if you can consider Tatis being in his prime yet.
Yeah, I would.
25, you would?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
60 year in the big leagues. Now he's missed time, but yeah, he's got enough. He has enough seasoning. He should absolutely be in his prime.
Prime Manny or prime Tatis?
I would take me personally, Toddy. I'm a Toddy apologist. I like Toddy more than Manny, even when they're both going great. I'd take Toddy as from a fandom perspective over Manny any day of the week. So me, I'll take Toddy. I think Toddy's going to have, we'll see if we're proven right or not. I think he'll have a 50 home run season in his career, close. And I don't know if, Manny's never been that player. So he's just more dynamic. He's more exciting to me.
Like, what is Manny's best season? Manny's best year.
38 home runs, 36, 37.
Well, it was if you want to go the year he got traded as his best year, listen to these numbers with the Orioles first half of the season in 2018, John, 96 games. He had 24 home runs and 65 RBIs. He hit 315 with a 963 OPS. As a 25, and that was him at 25. So him at 25 and Toddy right now at 25.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I would take Machado's year, but also he played in Baltimore.
I think I'm taking Manny, dude, because he's playing
Well,
shortstop.
yeah, those numbers are way better, but there's a couple of qualifying factors here. Toddy with missing 2 years. So let's see if his age 27 looks better than his age 25. Very possible. Secondly, Manny in Baltimore is going to have better numbers than Manny in San Diego because Baltimore's way better hitter's yard. So, and by the way, look at Manny since then. Like, other than 2020, which was great for 60 games, it wasn't his fault. There was a pandemic, and he was great. He truly was great. He hasn't gotten close to that type of 963 production. He hasn't had an OPS over 900 other than 2020 since 2018. So, like, again, you want to make a truthful, unbiased statement. Manny's numbers are going down. His numbers have gone down. Is he going to buck that trend? Maybe for a season, but it's not this season. So is it going to be in 2025 as a 32-year-old heading for age 33? Start treading into like uncharted territory with a player that is now 6-7 years removed from their best season. So, like, are you getting back to your best season when you're 6-7 years removed from it? Probably not.
It just sucks too, because like you had a feeling watching that 2020 year, a 27-year-old Manny Machado. That
would have been amazing if that was a full year.
That could have been his best year or one of his best years.
He was incredible. His final 30 games, he was incredible.
Like it sucks because like you're looking at the prime of Manny, 25, 26, 27, 28. And he has a really good 29-year-old season. Maybe it's an injury thing. I don't know. But like, John, if I'm just like, Manny Machado in Baltimore.
It was unbelievable. I agree. Yep, he was.
I think I might be taking Manny.
Yeah, no, it's fair. That's completely fair. Again, it's like we don't know what Tatis is going to be as a 26-year-old because we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Manny at this point.
All right, let me get to another super here from James. Thank you. He says the only good thing. Thanks, James. He says the only good thing that happened today was Jim meeting a Power Ranger, and John not knowing which Red Ranger it was. That was cool. Yeah, that was at I Heart San Diego. The Red Power Ranger was here. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means when I say it.
So Beto, who works over at Jammin' 95.7, he was walking the hallway before our show, and he mentions to you that the Red Power Ranger is in the building.
I'm like,
you come in right before my update, and you're like, the Red Power Ranger's here? And I'm like, excuse me? Because when I was growing up, dude, I was the biggest Power Ranger fan on the planet. I love Power Rangers. And the original OG Red Ranger was in the building. And so during the first segment of the show, after our interview with Pat McCarthy, I'm like, yo, John, we need to go over there. I need to go over there and take a picture with the OG Red Ranger. So I did, and I did. I go, hey man, I literally told him, I was like, dude, when I was growing up, when I was a kid, you were everything to me. And he goes, oh, so you're one of those guys. I'm like, yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. But he was. I mean, I was what? I think like 6 years old during when Power Rangers started, 5 years old. Dude, Power Rangers. I remember when they released the newest Power Ranger movie in like 2017. I like went to the movie theater like by myself to watch that movie.
Of course you did. It was probably during a Niners playoff game.
No, it wasn't, because the Niners were not good in 2017.
Hold on, I'm looking up. First of all, I mean, we've been completely unfair to Matt Waldron, but again, we do this every night, so there's time for everything.
He's been incredible.
He's been great. His last 6, 7, I don't have him in front of me. His last 7 starts, he's got a sub 2 ERA. I know that. But I'm looking at what the Padres have done against these left-handed starters these last 3 days. It's like, oh, they beat the A's, they swept them, and they beat a couple lefties. Today against Manny, 5 innings, 1 run. The other day against Harris, whoever the hell that is, 5 innings, 2 runs. And then the only reason, and now you had to have watched this. You had to have watched this play out. But they were about to be shut out by the starter, Sears, if not for him not covering first with 2 outs in the 5th inning and 3 runs later scoring in the inning. Yeah. So officially 5 innings, 3 runs. But that's 6 runs in 15 innings. They've actually scored a little bit. Again, I thought Sears was all smoke and mirrors because he should have been out of that unscathed. But I still think it illustrates the point that you're not facing elite starting pitching here from the left side in Sears, whatever the hell the guy's name was that I mentioned, and then Manny. And you're just having no run of success.
None.
At best, it's limited, short-lived success. It's like they cannot solve left-handed pitching. It's to the point where it's like, it's crazy. It's not more of a talking point than it is. And tomorrow they're facing another one, right? Quintana, who is not good. He's got a 5.29 ERA. He's 1-5. What is he going to do tomorrow against the Padres?
By the way, Matt Waldron in his last 7 starts, John.
Let me guess.
He's got a good guess.
Well, you were about to say 1, so he's got a 1.61 ERA.
And
what is it?
1.91.
Okay, that's good. Opponent batting average, you have that?
No.
Okay, good. I'll say 188. It was 189 coming in his last 6. So he's been great. The only thing that he gave up some 2-out kind of rando. We were watching at the time, I think, like off the end of the bat down the right field line double. JD Martinez, right? That was it. Whole game. He went 7 innings. They only had to throw 1 inning of relief today because Walter went 7 innings.
He's given up 27 hits in his last 42 1/3, striking out 41, walking only 10 with a .87 whip.
That's
incredible.
That's
I mean, his knuckleball is. I mean, at the start of the year it was not good, and now it's turned into just a huge weapon for him, a la the R.A. Dickey type of knuckleball season.
When he won Cy Young?
Yeah, dude. I mean, you put up those numbers for half of your starts so far right now.
Oof. Dude, he's been great. I mean, honestly, dude, their rotation, considering no Darvish and Musgrove for however long, has not been incredibly effective.
It's been a strength, and it's been something that they can rely on. It's the offense that's the up and down, right? And tomorrow, whoever lefty's pitching for the Mets, like you said, okay. But guess who's also pitching for the Padres? Adam Major. That could be more of a problem than the lefty on the mound for the Mets.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he bounces back. It's a fair point. I hope to see him be effective. It doesn't have to be perfect. Keep him in this game. Go 5 innings. Maybe, allow 3 runs or less.
5 innings, 2 runs would be freaking amazing.
The Mets offense. Mets ain't exactly the 27 Yankees, even though it's 97 years later.
Correct.
I'm dying.
Okay.
Which is a great time to tell you about Aura because they can get you healthier. I should be going into my fridge after this and taking some Aura, which I probably will do. Listen, Aura is an amazing company. Their co-founder, Will's in San Diego, and they have offices right here at Liberty Station. All their products are plant-based, all right? Plant-based products, all supplements. I take a probiotic every day. I love their probiotic. I've taken it for over 2 years, which is ridiculous, but true. So I take the probiotic every day for digestion. It's an amazing product. They have pre-workout supplements. They have proteins for after workouts, which are clutch because they're plant-based. They have omega-3 oils. If you're taking fish oils, forget about the fish oil. Take the omega-3. You get the same health benefit without the fish oil. They have sleep pills, immunity pills, and more. I mean, they have everything. You got to check them out, ora.organic, or click the link in the description down below. A lot of our viewers have checked them out. Me and Jim have been using their products off and on for years at this point. So San Diego company, Will's a huge Padres fan. They've got a free shipping offer going on right now. If you want to get healthier, if you want to support the channel, click the link in the description down below.
Yeah, they have everything you need to live a healthy lifestyle. Go to www.ora.organic, pick up some supplements. If you want to live that healthy lifestyle that you're craving, or is the best place for you, www.ora.organic, and you'll thank us later.
Before we get out of here, can we thank our new partners again, Mova Globes, and talk about that briefly? Since we've been here for 90 minutes on a Friday night, following a 2-1 loss. Has anyone ever spent
a lot
this
to
much
talk
time
about tonight? We had a lot to talk about.
But has anyone ever spent this much time talking about a Padres Mets 2-1 game on June 14th? I mean,
No.
Are they talking about it right now on WFAN overnights? I don't think so.
No.
All right, so Jim, show your globe again, because I got one here too. Look at this thing, guys. You can enter to win right now on our Instagram page. It spins based on magnets and based on light. There are no batteries.
Yeah, put it in an area with light,
thing.
and it just spins.
And it comes with the holder, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's so cool how it's just soothing. I said this earlier today. Like, you walk into a room and this thing's just spinning, and it just kind of puts a smile on your face. My son looks at this thing like, this is incredible. He's 5. My wife looks at this like, that's a really cool, unique piece. If you click the link in the description down below, you can learn more. You can also get 10% off by using promo code PWS10, PWS10. Mova Globes. They've got all these cool products, Jim. The founder of this company is from San Diego, Cardiff by the Sea. That's where this technology comes from. Officially licensed by Major League Baseball, all 30 Major League teams. Maybe your brother's a Brewers fan. You can pick one of those up. It's a great gift. It's perfect for a home office. It's perfect for a home. It's a great way to support the Padres. You're going to love these things. You got to see them to believe them. I think it's really illustrated well here on the wrap-up show what they do, but it's a really cool product, Jim, and we're pumped to have them on board with the wrap-up show.
Doesn't this look like...
Yeah, look at that.
Anyway, go to our Instagram page right now at John and Jim. Okay, go to our Instagram page. We are giving away one of these Padres Mova Globes. If you want to win a Padres Mova Globe, you need to go to our Instagram page. There's a post that will give you all the details of how to enter to win. And I don't know about you, John, but these things are amazing. And I'm telling you,
I need all 30, and I want to have a room, Jim, with the standings, and I want to move the globes based on the standings.
Well, that'd be kind of difficult to do, but anyway,
why?
Because that's a lot of teams, John.
It's a lot of work. Okay, that's fair. Well, maybe I want
and what they do, and if you don't want a Padres Mova Globe or another team's Mova Globe, then you can go to their website and check out all of the different Mova Globes they have. They have a million different types of Earth globes and solar system. And I don't know about you, but for me, in my office or on a bookshelf or wherever at work, having one of these things on my desk, it's a must have. And it's also a really cool gift too. Father's Day is coming up this Sunday. I know it's a little late to get one there to you in time, but still, presents or holidays or any types of gift, I think this is the perfect for, that you're a sports fan for whatever team of baseball teams. They have every baseball team that you could go and get. Yeah, look at that. Every single team in baseball right now.
Look at that. Look at them spinning.
I know.
All right. So every team available now. By the way, you can get a glove holder, I want to say, because they have this holder that we have, but you can actually put these balls in a glove holder and it spins. They got some really cool products. Again, enter the giveaway, John and Jim on Instagram, like Jim said. Use the promo code PWS10. Click the link in the description down below. Get 10% off your Mova Globes. And we're happy to have them with us here on the wrap-up show. All right.
Okay.
Kind of.
You don't sound that
It's been
good.
happening at night. I'm fine on John and Jim. You've heard me all week. 3-hour shows. Boom.
Well, we've been doing a 90-minute show, so I get it.
Yeah, fair point. We'll be back Sunday night. As you know, we take Saturdays off. We'll be here if the Padres throw a perfect game tomorrow at a measure. Otherwise, we will see you Sunday night for Game 3, recapping the series between the Padres and the Mets. If Adam Measure throws a perfect game, you will see us tomorrow night. I promise you that. The first person you see tomorrow night will be our
100%.
faces after Adam Measure's perfect game. But we are here Sunday night at 9:30 following Game 3 of the series. And then, of course, the Philly series coming up next week as well. As we always tell you, please subscribe year-round content for Padres fans. Smash the like button for us. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Oh, I didn't even get to that? That's my bad. We're going to get to that from JD Gaucho. He says, thank you, JD Gaucho. I always like to work in a little bit of college baseball this time of year, Jim. He says, first time ever the College World Series opens with 2 walk-offs. That is crazy. Florida State fans think it was a BS check swing call with 2 outs by Tennessee. Fall score 3 in the 9th. I didn't see it.
Ooh, whoopsies. Ruh-roh.
That's crazy. 2 walk-offs on day 1.
Ouchie. Oh, no.
Support our partners. Again, our brand new partner, Mova Globes. Click the link in the description down below to learn more. Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance if you have an insurance need. Aura, if you're looking to get healthier. Again, Finnley, we told you about the investment opportunities with their prospect, Shedri Vargas. And again, Underdog Fantasy, you can scan that QR code, use promo code PODSWRAP, get a free special pick, and a 50% deposit match with promo code PODSWRAP. For Jim, I'm John. We'll see you Sunday night, unless there's a perfect game on the wrap-up show.